to say, folks, I'm looking forward to this episode of Taking the Mikel, brought to you by the good folk at Bet Winner. Chris McHardy, John Obi Mikel back. So much to get through. My goodness. What I would say, John, is normal service has been resumed. Chelsea sack a manager, you win and get to a cup final. When have we seen that before?
Well, I mean, well, obviously that's what used to happen before, obviously with us. But the good thing with us is that every time we did it, we were successful. We won trophies. I think that was the way Roman operated. That's the way he ran the football club. He wanted to be successful. He wanted to win, the winning mentality that he wanted every player to have at the football club, not just players, staff and everyone. He wanted to create that winning culture of the football club, which is what he did. If you don't want to win, don't be there. That's not your place. So that's what Roman did. And if you're not winning, the manager goes, someone else comes in and we win a trophy. And then we go in and become successful. So yeah, that's what happened. But we haven't won a trophy yet, but we won again. Positive sign though, I think something to build on going forward.
It's been an incredible week for all the wrong reasons, for some right reasons that Chelsea fans will have. I mean, where to start? Ultimately, let's start with the semi-final. 1-0 win over Leeds. Not convincing. You and I spoke before coming on air. Didn't need to be convincing on Sunday. It was just about getting the win and booking their place in the cup final.
Yes. It was a good win. It was a positive result. Obviously, getting back to winning ways. We've lost 5 in a row. 5 in a row. Was
5.
Before the game yesterday, which was a good win. A positive win, a positive sign. We saw some positive sign in the game, the way we played, obviously. It looks like the way, the Maresca way, the way we played. That's what I saw from the game. But also, I think Callum as well kept things very, very simple. We did the basic things as well. Sometimes, like I said, when things are not going well for you, I think the best thing you have to do is to revert back to just doing the basics. And that's what we did. I think if you watched the game yesterday, the first half, I thought we played really well. We controlled the game. We played some beautiful football. I just looked at Leeds yesterday. I think maybe the occasion of the game, the magnitude of the game, they just didn't establish themselves in the game. All tried it. Second half, they played a bit better, but they didn't come out the way we've seen Leeds play lately, in the Premier League. But I think we took advantage of that. We played some really good football. We didn't take any risk at the back, which is what we were doing before. Sanchez trying to play out from the back and mistakes here and there, and we conceded a lot of goals. We kept it simple. If they, 1-2 passes, if the press was coming, Sanchez went long. And credit to João Pedro, I think yesterday he played really well.
He did.
He was able to hold the ball up and bring people into play. I think we got a lot of success from the second balls. I think that's what we did. We went long a lot of times. I think about 15 or 20 something times we went long in the first half, which paid off because you can see the press were coming. Leeds came to press us and they knew that's the only way they could get us. Press them and they will make mistakes. Sanchez is going to make mistakes, but he didn't do that. He didn't take any risks yesterday. He went long. He kept it simple. And and we benefited from that. And we caused them problems in the first half. And we went 1-0 up. Credit to Enzo Fernandez does what he does, which is what I said. He's become the master at that, arriving late at the box and scoring goals. That's something we didn't see under Liam Rosenior. Nope. But yesterday was simple. It was basic. It wasn't anything exciting, let's put it that way. But it is something to build on. It's a positive result. We're back to winning ways. But I wouldn't get too overly carried away with the results.
Yeah,
listen, it's Leeds. They've just struggled to stay in the Premier League. They've been fighting relegation battle for the whole season. Now they looks like they're safe. So let's not get too over carried away with the situation. But yes, a positive thing to build on, and hopefully we can then carry this positivity all throughout the season. But again, credit to Callum, who's done this the second time. He's coming and he's doing a good job. He knows how to galvanize the team. He knows how to set up the team to make sure that we got results. We saw it the first time when he did it against City. He went to Etihad, he got a result. And now he's coming his first game again, taking the club to the FA Cup final. So he knows the players. He's always at the setup, which is good. He looks like, I think the good thing with him, he looks like somebody that you can relate to. I think that's what it is. The players, you can feel that there's something there.
He's
There
real.
was a little bit of a change yesterday, not just him. I think you can feel that from the players, the fans. Also, there's a little bit of positivity around the place, which is something we haven't seen in a long time. So for me, he looks like a bloke he looks like a bloke. Somebody you can relate to, somebody you can talk to, somebody you can have a genuine conversation with. That's not going to try to be too intellectual. He just does the basic, and that's what I said. And that was my kind of worry sometimes with Liam Rosenior, that he wasn't. You can feel that it's not somebody you can relate to. But credit to Callum, and he's got the job to the end of the season. But let's not get carried away.
A lot written and said this season about Enzo. We spoke about him in a couple of previous episodes.
Yeah.
Obviously, we cannot legislate for what he did, but interested to read that's now 13 goals he's got from midfield this season, John.
Yeah.
Only Morgan Gibbs-White with 16 has got more goals from a midfielder in the Premier League.
He's a fantastic player. I mean, he's a good player. But sometimes I don't think he's done enough this season. He hasn't done enough this season. He hasn't led by example.
No, he hasn't.
A lot this season. When you wear that armband, you have to lead by example. You have to give example. You have to lead in front. And I feel like he hasn't done that enough this season. Yes, a lot of criticism has been aimed his way. Yes, he should take it. He hasn't played well enough this season. Not just him, the whole team, everybody. I don't think these players have actually done enough for this football club this season. You know, they've let the club down. They've let the fans down. And they should know that. I'm pretty sure that they all know that. You know, as a football player, the best thing you can do is to tell yourself the truth. Criticize yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and know exactly when you're not doing enough, when you're not fighting for the club, when you're not fighting for the badge of the football club. So I'm pretty sure these players must have done that. And Enzo Fernandez is an experienced player. He knows that he hasn't done enough for the football club this season. Does he want to leave the football club? Does he want to stay? That's a question to be answered. That's a question to be answered come the end of the season. But while you're still at the football club, you have to give your best. You have to do everything for the football club. And I just feel like he hasn't done that enough this season. But credit to the guy, when it matters most, the big games. Yesterday, he came out and he got us the win. He got us the win. And I thought he played well. You can see he wanted to show us something. And credit to him, he did that yesterday.
He pumped the chest as he wheeled away in celebration. It's amazing. They say
it is Leeds, mate. It is Leeds. Let's not get carried away. It is Leeds. I understand the whole hype. I understand the whole enjoyment. Let's not get too overly excited about it. It's one game, you know, and it's against Leeds. Liam Rosenior, we saw that with Liam when he took over. He won his first 2-3 games against the team we expected Chelsea to win.
Yeah. And
I said it, the games that we don't expect them to win, are they going to go and do the job? Are they going to go there and prove us all wrong? They failed to do that lately. And the game against Leeds yesterday, we expected, on paper, us to win. And that's what we did. It was a good win. It was 1-0. I felt second half we were just hanging on. We crawled to the finish line. That's what it was. I thought Leeds came out in the second half and they played really well. So, but credit to the guys. Long time we haven't kept a clean sheet. So it was good to get a win and keep a clean sheet.
That's the micro view, of course. Getting to a cup final is always nice. If we look at the macro, John, if we take a step back, I mean, they say a week's a long time in politics. 5 days, a heck of a long time for Chelsea Football Club. From Tuesday night against Brighton, you and I and the group were on WhatsApps. It was the worst performance I've seen from a Chelsea team in a long time. You talk about the basics. They were a million miles short of that. Obviously, Liam Rosenior gone, 106 days in the job, 5.5-year deal with the option of another one, done and dusted inside 4 months. It was never the right appointment, never in a month of Tuesdays was it. He's gone. The performance was an absolute disgrace. Give them their due, though. They come bouncing back, as you'd expect from Chelsea. We see it, the bounce that you get from a new voice, a new face in the dressing room. But, John, there are still big issues at the football club.
Oh, massive issues. There's no question about that. Huge. Again, when I say let's not get carried away, let's not think, okay, we've won this game, the whole problem of the football club, everything that we know, the deep issues that we know that is existing at the football club is just going to go away. No, that is there, and we have to get rid of it. The fans have to demand that. We demand that those issues are addressed, and then we take them out of the football club. But again, coming back to the game against Brighton that you just touched on there, I think for me, it was the worst performance that I can't remember for a very, very long time at the football club. We were a million miles away from, off it in that game. Didn't play well at all. Brighton were all over us.
Yeah.
5 games in a row without a goal. I think the last time that happened was 114 years ago. I think that was when the Titanic sank, didn't it?
1912. It was.
That was the last time we went 5 games in a row without scoring a goal.
And losing.
And losing as well. So it was a disaster. It was a disaster. Everything that happened in that game, it took us 30 minutes. For the first time, a Chelsea player actually did tackle in that game. 30 minutes in the game. For the first time, there was a tackle from a Chelsea player in that game. 30 minutes. The game against Brighton. It was an absolute disaster. It was shambles. It wasn't a game to watch. And I think those players will look back at that and look at themselves at the mirror and thought, we were awfully bad. Awfully bad. And sometimes you can talk about the managers, you can talk about tactics, you can talk about every other things, but the players have to look at themselves in the mirror. Am I doing enough for the football club? Am I running enough for the football club? I listened to the interview of Chalobah after the game saying, we were tired. We did exactly what we were all tired in the dressing room. No, you're not. If you look at the stats of the game, Brighton did actually run 7 kilometers more than Chelsea did. 7. That's huge. We're not talking about 1 or 2 here. We're talking about 7 kilometers more than we ran. So if Chalobah is coming out and saying that we are tired, what would the Brighton players be feeling? That is a team, players that are fighting for something. That was a game that between the two of them, if Brighton won, they would put themselves right back at the Champions League position or fighting for Europe. If we had won as well, we put ourselves back in the European places. That was a playoff game. And we went out there and we performed the way we did. It was absolute disaster. Absolute disaster. The whole thing was just a shamble to watch in that game. And I just thought that was the game that I thought Liam Rosenior was gone. I said it a couple of days before that, few days before that. I said, he looked to me like a dead man walking. You never know when the trigger was going to be pulled. And we saw it from the owners. We saw it from those owners that when you come out and you say, and you make that statement of, oh, we don't know. We think he's the right appointment. We think he's the guy to take us to the next level. We just knew it
undermines him.
Exactly, undermines him. If you want to back your manager, you come out and say, we back our manager. We back him. We respect what he's doing. We're full support of what he's doing. But there was nothing like that. And it just shows me that they weren't sure about the appointment. They weren't sure about him. And it was a matter of time and before he's gone.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
Yeah, the camera panned at the full-time whistle at the Amex to Bidad Igbali, the co-owner.
Yeah.
And he was on his phone. And he sent a quick message. And it was
that
one
was
of those.
a message that, that's it, he's gone.
He's done. And then, of course, Wednesday comes.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the news, confirmation he's gone. Then, obviously, the chatter comes, right? They've nipped it in the bud, speculation. Callum McFarlane, given the job until the end of the season. He's brought in the under-21 staff, the under-18 staff to support him. Of course, Callum was part of Liam Rosenior's backroom staff. But very quickly, John,
he was part of the problem, wasn't he?
Well, you could argue that. He was part of his backroom staff. Obviously, though, the players felt yesterday liberated enough. And again, not to be too harsh on Callum, but there is that feeling that they won yesterday because Liam Rosenior wasn't in the dugout. It was not necessarily anything that Callum did. That's perhaps a bit harsh, but you could certainly go that route. Of course, John, the chatter now turns to who is the man long term.
Yeah.
In the final paragraph of the statement from the owners announcing Liam Rosenior's departure, they said that in the summer we need to have a little self-reflection, whatever that means. Maybe looking at the way they're running the club, looking at the decision makers, I'm looking at the sporting directors and all of this as well. Ultimately, John, I'm not got skin in the game, despite the fact it sounds like I do. But if I'm a football manager now looking in at Chelsea, I want to avoid it like the plague.
When you say something, obviously, the appointment that they've made, like I said it so many times, they have to take responsibility. They have to be held accountable for what is happening. Because when you bring in those managers, when you're the one signing those players, when you're the one bringing those players from South America, wherever you're bringing them from, yes, I respect that. They're young players. But when you're bringing in those players, those young players, 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old players, and you give them an 8-9 years contract, tell me, please, where will the hunger come from? Where will the desire come from? As a young player, where will that desire for you to go on day after day, weeks after week, months after month to try to improve yourself? Because if I'm an 18-year-old kid and you give me a 9 years contract, that's it. I feel like I'm done. I feel like I've hit the highest height. If you do that, you are taking away the hunger, the desire from those young players, because the hunger is not going to be there anymore. The desire to improve, to get better, to hit the absolute limit, because sometimes to get better, you have to hit the absolute limit. That's how you can push yourself to the next level. If you've given me an 8-9 year contract, I wouldn't have the desire to do that.
You're comfortable.
Where would the hunger come from? I would feel so comfortable because I wouldn't want to do that anymore. If you sack me, if you get rid of me, you pay me for 8-9 years contract. So those players, that is my worry. That's my issue with them bringing in those young players. And again, when you do that, and then you bring in an inexperienced manager, a young manager that, again, doesn't have the experience to handle that dressing room, to be able to get the best out of those young players, then it becomes a problem. And that's what I see, with this team, with these owners. They're chopping and changing managers. They have run the football club into a deep mess. It's a fucking shamble what's happening right now in the football club. It's a shit show. It's an absolute shit show. Financially, we're all over the place. It's been announced that we've got tax loss, pre-tax loss
of over
262 million. That is absolutely crazy. And we've spent 1.5 billion. How do we balance the books? How do we balance our books in the next year? We have to balance the book next year.
If you don't make Champions League.
And if we don't make the Champions League, that is a fucking disaster. That is a big, big disaster. If you have a pre-tax loss of 262
the most
million, the most in the Premier League history.
By some way.
By some margin.
No one had ever been over 200
By some margin.
Yeah.
No one has ever been there. 262 million. That is crazy. And if we do not make the Champions League this season, that is a huge, huge disaster for the football club. You can see where this football club is going. They're running the football club to the ground. They're running the football club to the ground. And you might say this is a harsh criticism, but it is what it is. It is absolutely what it is. It doesn't matter how you look at it. You can try to sugarcoat it how much you want. Not just off the football pitch, not off the pitch. Not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well. What is going on at the football club is just a disaster. So we have to fix it quickly. They have to find a way of fixing these problems, because if we don't do that, this football club is going to become, I keep saying it, Chelsea Football Club is going to become a yo-yo club. This is a fans' football club. It's not the owners. It's not Blue Coat. Blue Coat don't own this football club. The fans own the football club. The absolute fans own the football. They have to listen to the fans. They absolutely have to listen to the fans. What the fans are asking for is success on the pitch. On the pitch. Do that. Bring in some more experienced players. They can be able to help these young players. The mixture of experience and young and talented and potential. Mix it up with some good experienced players. And I hope they do that this season. But again, coming back to the financials of the football club, if we do not get profit, if we do not make a profit of up to 160, 200 million, we're going to be in fucking deep shit.
Well,
we have to. So the only reason how we can do that is by what? Selling our top players. We have to sell players. Because no one is going to come buy the less players. No one is going to come buy the less good players. Everybody's going to come knock on the door right now at Chelsea Football Club is going to want to buy the likes of Cole Palmer, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Cucurella. These are your top players. We're going to have to get rid of them to be able to balance the book. So it's a fucking disaster what's happening at the football club right now.
The question as well, John, is when you look at the candidates for the job, because again, if you're saying it, and I, for what it's worth, believe the same, it is a bit of a basket case right now. The owners running the football club, what you would class in a questionable way, it doesn't seem as if they've got the best interests.
The model doesn't work. The model of what they're doing doesn't work. The model doesn't work. The system doesn't work. We've seen it time and time again. It does not work. You have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we are. We have to keep the culture of who we Who we are is winning, competing to winning titles, big titles, the Premier League, the Champions League.
Not the Europa Conference
Not the Europa Conference League. And when I look at the players that have come out recently and make statements, it looks like to me they won out. Those top players, they won out. Enzo Fernandez wouldn't come out and make the statement. Cucurella wouldn't come out and make the statement that they've made. Cole Palmer's link to Manchester United doesn't seem to go away. There is something that those players don't feel comfortable anymore. They have absolutely zero idea where the direction of the football club is going. Your top players, they need some sense of direction. And right now, we don't have it because we keep chopping and changing managers right, left and center. Yes, we did it as well during our time. Don't get me wrong. But we were fucking successful. We won titles. We won trophies. Big titles. So if you're doing it and not being successful, then what is the point?
Yeah.
What is the point?
So it begs the question, John, who is the manager this summer to come in? Andoni Iraola, currently the bookmaker's favourite. You've got, I would say, our mate, your mate. You went to Brazil to catch up with him. Of course, Copa Libertadores winner with Flamengo, Filipe Luís.
Yes.
Cesc Fabregas is on that list that I'm seeing as well. I'd be staggered if it's not one of those three in truth.
Yeah, you're right, mate. But
do any of them excite you?
Who will want to take over this shit show?
One of them might.
Who will want to take over this shit show? No one. Tell me, there is no top manager that's going to want to come on to Chelsea right now and take over this job, because you never know. You have absolutely zero idea what's happening. We need a manager. We don't need a coach. We've been successful in the past years because we had managers. We had managers that we come in and manage everything. Manage what happens on the pitch and what happens outside the pitch. A manager that's going to be like, this is my football club and I'm going to manage everything. That's got to do with it. They're not going to do that. They're going to allow, they will never in million years allow that to happen. So what we're going to get is another yes man. That's what we're going to get. And Andoni Iraola, for me, I'm not saying he's a yes man, but he's a guy that doesn't want to get involved with who comes in and who goes out. He just wants to get on with what happens on the football pitch, which is coaching. They will sign the players and he's going to coach the players. So tell me what top manager is going to want to take over this Chelsea's job right now? There is not many. There is not many. The top manager that we can talk about is Luis Enrique, Diego Simeone, and you can talk about, again, who else is out there? Club who want to, you know. So tell me what top manager will want to come and take over this football club and manage, because those guys, they are not yes mans. They want to be managers. They don't want to be coaches. So there is no top manager that's going to come and take over this job right now. So the only thing we're going to get is another yes man. It's another coach that's going to come in and they're going to tell him absolutely what to do. And we're going to be, again, in same position where we are. It's just going to be same position where we are, because you're going to get somebody that has absolutely zero experience of managing a top club like Chelsea, a club that's been spoiled with success, with winning trophies, competing year in, year out. This is what these fans have been brought up with. Our fans have been brought up with winning, absolutely winning, competing year in, year out, season after season, winning trophies, competing year in, year out. So you can't keep bringing those managers and chopping and changing. What is the point? What is the model? What is the actual direction? The direction for me was Enzo Maresca. Enzo Maresca was the direction because he wanted a bit more power. Nope, that's it. You're done. You're gone. He wanted to have a little more power of who comes in, bring in a little bit more experience to help the team, because he can see that the team is suffering. He can see it. He knows what's happening. The problem of the football club is experience. It's leaders, characters that can come into that dressing room and pull those young players along. Yeah. That's all they need. You pull those young players along, because there is the talent is there. The quality is there. The potential is there. But to grow as a player, you need the experienced players to guide you through it, to lead you through it. That's what you need. And we don't have that. We do not have that. It's a fucking no-brainer. We can all see it. Everybody can see it. Even if you're not a Chelsea fan, you can see the problem that we have. The potentials are there. Don't get me wrong. But to be able to become successful, you need to mix it up with the experience and the young.
If I gave you the choice, I'm coming back to it, Iraola, Filipe Luís, Cesc Fabregas. They are three of the favourites.
I think for me, Fabregas is be too early for Fabregas. For me, listen, we can all hear the success he's having with Como in Italy, in the Italian league.
Yeah,
but for me, I just think it's a bit too early for him. I think give him a couple of more seasons, for him to establish himself a bit more, gain a bit more experience. Maybe come to the Premier League, coach a lesser team like Chelsea. Listen, man, we are not an experimental club. We're not that club.
They've transformed.
You don't experiment with Chelsea Football Club. No, we already made team, a club, established football club. That's who we are. We've already established ourselves. We're winners. We win trophies, big trophies. We compete. The biggest team in London. Winning trophies, titles. Don't come and experiment with us. No, the football club. No, get managers that are already made, that knows and have experience of what it feels of winning titles. Whether you won as a player or you won as a manager. That's what we need, because if you've won titles, it's a huge experience you're going to gain. Whether as a player or as a manager. If you haven't won anything, and the respect that you will gain from the players when you walk into the dressing room, that is huge.
Yeah.
When you haven't won anything and you walk into the dressing room, trust me, as football players, we can sense it. We can feel it.
Smell it.
We can smell it. Yeah. Who's this guy? What has he won? We don't say it out, but that's what we think as players. That's what we think as players. Yes, a lot of people might say José Mourinho didn't play football, but he won with Porto before he came to us. Champions League.
Europa League.
Europa League.
Or UEFA Cup.
Yes, something like that. He was a winner already before he came to us. So he has the experience. So that's what we need. We need winners. We need managers that's been there, done it, knows how to win titles, whether you won as a player or as a manager. That's a huge experience you're going to gain from it. And those players are going to learn from you. They're absolutely going to learn from you. And that's why when I talk about it sometimes, that's what we need. We need that. And that's going to bring experience to the squad. And it's also going to galvanize the fans, because what the fans need is winner. Somebody that you can call a winner. And so far, lately, we haven't had that.
Okay, so on that, I'm putting words in your mouth right now, John. I've got to. But Cesc Fabregas needs more time. Areola done an unbelievable job at both Rayo Vallecano and Bournemouth, but he ain't won trophies. So on that basis, your old mucker, Filipe Luís, Copa Libertadores winner with Flamengo.
Yes.
Brought a style to that football club.
Yes.
He knows Chelsea. He talked on the podcast to you about the fact that Diego Simeone had a big bearing on who he is.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho has rubbed off on him.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, Filipe Luís, yes or no? Would you get on board with him?
Has he coached in the Premier League? No.
No.
Has he coached in Europe? No. Do I think he has the potential to be a good manager? We all saw how his team played in the Club World Cup. Some absolutely fantastic football we saw they play. The style of play, the way they played, playing on the front foot, creating chances, having control of the game, playing with purpose, going forward to create chances, to score, not just passing the ball around. They had an objective of how they wanted to play. There was a philosophy of how he wanted the team to play.
Structure.
That's how there was a structure. That's how you can tell. That's how you can know somebody who can become a top manager. Maybe he doesn't have the experience right now, but from the job that he's done with Flamengo, the way we've seen his team play, yes, there is something to be excited about. Yes, you can see the way his team plays. There is something that can get you off your seat. There's an expectancy of what you feel that you can achieve. And that's something that I like with Filipe Luís. Yes, of course, he played for the football club. His dream is to one day come and manage Chelsea Football Club. He did say here in the podcast that, it will be his absolute dream one day to manage Chelsea Football Club. So there is no question about that. Is it too early for him right now as well? Maybe. But out of this three that you've mentioned, if they will go with any of them, I'll probably say Filipe Luís, because I think he's been at the football club. The fans will take to him straight away. And the style of football that he plays is the way we want to play.
Yeah.
Playing out from the back, being courageous on the tight spaces, having the balls to be able to play when it's not going well. The way he coaches his team, the philosophy and the structure of how his team plays. I think for me, he's going to fit perfectly well with Chelsea Football Club. But does he have the experience? Does he have the credential right now to manage in the Premier League? And to not just in the Premier League, a club as huge, as big as Chelsea Football Club? That is the question mark.
And can he mesh with the owners? It's all good and well us talking about these managers, but unless the owners, who said somewhat of self-reflection, unless they tweak their model.
What is self-reflection anyways? What are they trying to reflect? It's all there in black and white, man. We can all see what the problem is.
It's true.
The problem is that the model that they have is not working.
It's not working.
It's absolutely not working. And they've said a few comments now that they're going to try to change some of it. They have to change, go and tear up that book of the model that they have right now because it's not working. It's absolutely not working. Get back to who we are. Get back to bringing players. I'm not saying fill the club with experienced top players like we had. I'm saying mix it up. Mix it up. Bring in players that want to win. Bring in winners. Players that want to win trophies. Experienced players that are already made. That can help this young squad. That can be able to feel what the fans want and play and pull this team and know that where they are right now, Chelsea Football Club, is about winning. You have to bring in those players that will come in straight away and straight away know exactly where they are. Because these young players, they're thinking, oh, in the next 5 years, that's probably when I'm going to start establishing myself. No. Chelsea Football Club do not give you time. I said it last week. Does not give you time. And we can see that with Liam Rosenior. Does not give you time. Doesn't matter whether you're a player or you're a manager. Does not give you time. Roman used to tell us back then, if you think you're comfortable, if you think you have 2-3 years contract left, I have the fucking money. Yeah. I will get rid of you and I'm going to bring in someone else. and that's so you better buckle up and get your shit together. Otherwise, you're gone. We used to have these meetings when things are not going well. We have this meeting, closed doors. Get your shit together, mate. Otherwise, you're out of the door. Someone else comes in.
Takes your place.
And takes your place. That's what it was. That was the competition. That was what it felt like playing for Chelsea Football. That's who we are. And right now, I can see that. Again, we talk about accepting who we are. Credit to them. Yes, we won the semi-finals. We're in the final. But when you see Chelsea celebrating the way we celebrate, beating Leeds United, take nothing away from them. But is that who we are right now? Celebrating beating Leeds United in the semi?
But
yes, it is a win. I take it. I'll take it all day. But we're pumping the chest, screaming and shouting. It is Leeds United at the end of the day. No disrespect to Leeds United. No disrespect. But they have struggled to stay in the Premier League. They've been fighting relegation battles the whole season. So for us to beat them in the FA Cup semi-finals, it's not something that we have to...
Okay, Joe.
It's not something that we're going to have to get carried away with. We enjoy it and move on. The big game is the final. It's a different kettle of fish when you play Manchester City. Win that game.
Yeah, then.
Win that game then. But still, for me, it still doesn't make it better because for me, I will take qualifying for the Champions League over winning the FA Cup.
Just on that then, because on Tuesday night, we saw the players... Liam kind of apologised. He went down the tunnel. Enzo Fernandez had a bit of a stare out with fans, 5-6 minutes.
Yeah, what was that about, mate?
It was it performative? I mean, it was what it was. There was a lot of Chelsea fans giving it back to him.
I don't know what it was. Was it performative?
It felt a bit performative.
What was he trying to gain from that? What was he trying to achieve with the stare down? Is he staring the fans down? Is he saying...
I guess he's fronting up, John.
Yeah, he's fronting up. Is he saying, okay, here I am. I'm the big man. I can take it. Yeah, give it to me.
I guess it was that.
What is that? If you're the big man, if you're the top guy, show it during the fucking game. Show it in the game.
And he did yesterday.
He did yesterday. Credit to him. Credit to him.
One game though.
But that's, again, we're talking about Leeds United. Again, they've been struggling.
What have Leeds done to you, John? You're battering them.
I'm talking about it. When you beat a team that's been struggling the whole season, that's been in the relegation battle the whole season, don't get giddy about it. Don't get too excited about it.
They beat you 3-1 Ellen Road.
Yes, they did.
And they drew 2-2 at the Bridge.
Yes.
So they've cleared. You're smiling at me now.
But again, I'm taking nothing away from Leeds. Listen.
You're taking it all away from
them. I'm not.
You're taking it all
Daniel
away.
Falk has done an absolutely fantastic job.
Brilliant.
Amazing job. Absolute fantastic job. And the players, they should take credit for what they've done. They're still not safe. Are they safe yet? But they're close to being 100% safe. But what they've done, Daniel Calvert-Lewin that we thought, he's done at Everton, but the transformation he's gone to Leeds United, the way that what Daniel Farke, how he's been able to get the best out of him. But that's something that you can tell a manager that works on his players. But that's what I'm saying. I'm not taking anything away from Leeds United, but at the end of the day, they've just come up back to the Premier League and they've been struggling the whole season. They've been in a relegation battle the whole season. We shouldn't be getting carried away by beating Leeds United. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
That's all I'm saying. Is it a positive result? Yes, it is a positive result going forward. And I hope that we can go on and then finish the rest of the season this way, by winning the rest of our games and see if we can get to Europe. Because we have to be... Is Champions League out of reach right now? Maybe, what are we, 7 points away from Liverpool?
I want to get to this.
So that's, for me, maybe it's out of reach, but all we have to do is show the character, show the belief that we still want to compete. Yes, it's 4 or 5 games left, but show the character. Go out there, play for the badge, play for the football club. Show that you want to be here. That's what I want to see from these players. Show that you want to be at Chelsea Football Club. You want to continue the culture of who we are. Do that and show the fans that you belong here. And that's what I want to see from these players. That's what I want to see. So hopefully, come the rest of the season, this positive result that we got yesterday can just take us to the rest of the season and we can be able to win the rest of our games.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
The reason I said Champions League is not out of the equation, I think it was you that mentioned it on last week's podcast. There is this weird scenario evolving and emerging whereby Aston Villa, who are currently 4th in the Premier League, in the Europa League semi-finals against Nottingham Forest upcoming, if they finish 5th, but go on and win the Europa League, you know where I'm going with this, John? 6th place in the Premier League will get Champions League football. So, Fulham, Chelsea's great West London rivals.
Again, we don't want to be handed gifts, man. You don't want to be handed. That's not, again, that's acceptance. You just want to accept gifts. That's not who we are.
But
we want to earn it. We want to earn it.
You're going to need a few gifts.
We want to earn it, man. We want to earn it. We want, at the end of the season, we can beat ourselves in the chest and say, yes, we earned it ourselves. We're not given the Champions League spot.
It'll be embarrassing if you do.
It would.
If you get it by virtue of finishing 6th,
That's
Villa
what I'm
5th,
saying.
and Villa winning the Europa
Is that
League.
who we want to become?
It's where you are
People
right now.
handing gifts for us. Thank you very much.
The owners will take
and now
it.
Chelsea Football Club.
The owners will take it.
They'll take it because
for the balance books.
They'll take it because do you have? I mean, is that who we want to become? That's not who we want to become.
But can I ask this? Win the FA Cup against City, May 16th, and whichever way they do it, John, they get Champions League football.
That's success, yes.
That will be deemed success.
Winning the FA Cup, not qualifying for the Champions League, that's not success. No.
But getting both.
Getting both, yes.
Pass
mark. Then we can build on that next season. Then we can say, okay, we can build on something next season. Because then you're going to attract big players, experienced players that want to win. They want to come to Chelsea Football Club because they want to play Champions League football. And if we do get a top manager that can attract those players, a manager that players can look at and say, you know what, I want to come play for this manager. Why do you think is Pep Guardiola pick up the phone today and call any player today in the Premier League? They all run. They walk to Manchester. They don't run. They fucking walk.
Yeah.
They will swim to Manchester to go play for Pep Guardiola. That's how much managers play a big part on players moving to a football club. They do. And Pep Guardiola has earned that right. Today, when he picks up the phone and call any football club and call any player, you listen. You absolutely listen. Are you going to win titles? 1, are you going to win titles? Yes. Are you going to become a better player? 2, yes. Are you going to look at yourself, come the end of your career and say, you know what? I made the right decision? Yes. By winning titles, by being successful. That's what a football club is. And that's who we were 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, you are right.
That's who we were.
A lot of players looking at Chelsea.
That's why when Roman was there, picked up the phone and called players, Michael Ballack, they answered. Shevchenko, they answered. Deco, they answered.
Eden Hazard,
they answered. Nicolas Anelka, they answered. We all fucking answered. Because we all wanted to play for Roman Abramovich.
You shouldn't have answered, John. You should have been at Old Trafford.
I did a U-turn, mate.
Yeah, no. I know you did. Roman's on the phone. Shit.
But it was about going and creating your own history. That's what I wanted to do. And I was happy to be part of that. We were successful football club. And today, when you look back at it, you can say, that's why I made that decision. That's why I joined the football club. Because we've built this dynasty. We've built this winning machine that wants to win, that has a culture of winning. That's who we are. And it's just a shame to see us declining, absolutely declining as a football club. I feel sorry for the fans. I feel sorry for whoever connected to Chelsea Football Club right now, because whichever way you look at it, we are on the right path. We are absolutely a million miles off it. Something has to change. Something absolutely has to change. Are the owners going to go? Maybe not. Can they change their model and get the football club back to where it belongs? That is something they can do. That is something we can absolutely demand from them, the fans, everyone connected to Chelsea Football Club. Change your model. Yes, you investors, you want to make money, you buy players, you want to sell them on in 5 years' time and make profit. Fine. But mix it up. Bring in players that want to win. Players that knows how and what it feels like winning trophies. Because the club is about winning. The club has been built on winning, on being successful. When Roman took over, that was what he wanted. Spent his money, his time, his energy
on winning.
That's what he wanted. And that's why everybody who was there knew exactly what you were walking into. You're walking into a team, a machine that is being built on winning, on being successful. The dynasty of the football club, the culture of the football club is about winning. And I'm not sure these players, these young players with potentials, don't get me wrong. When you watch some of them, you can see the potentials there. They don't understand quite yet where they are.
And that's understandable.
And who we are. That's understandable because the experience is not there.
That's fair.
The people, when you look at the whole building, maybe Reece James has probably won something there.
Yeah, Champions League.
Champions League. That's it. That's it. But I don't see Reece as that vocal kind of guy that's going to go on everywhere. John Terry made it known to everybody when you walk through that door, mate. This is where you're walking into. You come into a football club that wants to win.
Just don't.
That wants to win. You have to win. You have to compete. If you're moaning around the training ground, walking around thinking, oh, I'm not playing, I'm Michael Ballack, I'm not playing, I'm Shevchenko, I'm not playing. No, get your shit together and fight and compete. Because it's never going to be handed over to you. It's not going to be given to you. You have to fight for it. You have to compete for it. Week in, week, every single day in training, we are all fighting, competing for positions to be in the starting 11. And that's what takes you to the finish line. That's what makes you successful. That's what builds a football club, a winning mentality. If you don't compete, if you don't have the top players that can every single day push you in training, you can't get there. And also when you've been given an 8-9 years contract, where is the motivation? Where is the hunger? Where is the desire? It's gone. Because when you think about it, your bank account for the next 8 years, it doesn't matter what you do. You can be lying in bed all day. You get paid for 8 years.
I'd love it.
Who wouldn't love it?
It's mental when you say it like that.
But you don't do that.
You mentioned JT. As soon as you walked into that football club in that period, JT, maybe even more so than Roman, José, JT's voice would be booming, setting the standards. He's come out in the wake of being overlooked again in an interim basis, John. You talked last week on the pod, the lovely line about who's leading who. This was obviously Liam, young manager, inexperienced by and large at a club of that stature. The players by and large inexperienced. Who was running who? Yeah. You know where I'm going with this? JT said no call was forthcoming. Yeah. Could he have been someone, and Callum, taking nothing away from him, but would JT have not had the broad shoulders, the weight of personality?
The personality, the character.
Yeah.
I think, of course. Like, Listen, JT's my mate. He's my friend. He's my guy.
He's your captain.
He's my captain.
Gotta say that.
Crazy, but I love him. I love JT.
Was he too big for the owners, John? You know what I'm getting at? Is he simply, because he's quote unquote Mr. Chelsea?
The one thing with JT is that you cannot control JT. He's not a yes man.
No.
Would he have been the best appointment till the end of the season? Maybe. Yes. Why not? Why not give it to JT? Why not give it to Mr. Chelsea? The one person that actually bleeds blue. He is blue. He is Mr. Chelsea. Why not give it to him when the club is in a disarray, when the club is all over the fucking place? Give it to the guy that's going to galvanize the whole place. That when he walks through that door and has a meeting with those players will look at him and absolutely listen to every word that comes out of his mouth. Because you know why? He's been there, he's done it, he knows how to win titles. He's done it all. He knows how to win titles. Has he managed as a manager? No. But what we need right now in this situation where we are right now, somebody that's going to come in and bring some sort of calmness, some sort of positivity, some sort of direction, so galvanize the fans, because that's what is happening. The fans have been protesting. It's all over the place. Everybody's all over the place. It's a shit show right now.
United it.
Somebody that's going to unite the whole place and bring everybody together. I thought JT would have been that guy. But of course, the club overlooked him the first time and they've done that again this time. I have absolutely no idea why that happens. I have absolutely no idea. It's not my place to talk about that. Maybe there's reasons why. I have absolutely no idea.
Too big for that.
I just felt maybe John Terry would have been that guy. And the club had decided to ignore him again, push him on the side and pretend like he never existed as a football club. So for me, that's a shame. I would like to see him at some capacity. If we want to get back to who we are, I think in some capacity, I would like to see him being involved with the first team. I'd like to see that. Maybe not as the first team, maybe not as the coach. Maybe, the backroom staff. Somebody that, when it's not going well, before the manager even says something, he's already ripped through the whole fucking dressing room and tell them everything he demands from them, what the club stands for, who we are. They have to go out there in the second half and make sure that they get their shit together and go out there and perform and run and fight for the football club. JT is that guy. He's done it with us. He did it with us. It doesn't matter the ego that came into that football club. He ran the football club. His voice was everywhere. He demanded so much from everybody. When Ballack joined, top player, played German captain and all. But when you have somebody like JT that can put him in his place and tell him, you know what? This is who we are. This is Chelsea Football Club. And he listens. So, and they tell me this place, of course they're going to listen.
Yeah.
So for me, that was probably... Callum again has come in. He's done the job. We've won. Win the FA Cup final. If we go on to win it, absolutely fantastic. But again, like I said, I'd rather see us finish top 4, top 5, qualify for the Champions League.
Top 6.
No, top 6. I don't want to be handling the fucking Champions League sport, mate. No, I'm not gonna take it. Because then we become this team that just accept gifts. We just accept gifts. We accept, people handing over. What is it? We're going to start begging to win Premier League games? No, can you give us 3 points, please, mate? No. We want to compete. We want to earn it ourselves. No, I don't want to finish top 6. I don't want to finish 6th and qualify for the Champions League because Villa has won the Europa League and then finished 5th. No. You feel like you didn't earn it. You have to earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to struggle for it. When you do that, it feels better. It feels good.
We're going to do a podcast in 3 weeks' time, and this is all going to happen.
I'm never going to take it.
And you're going to be...
I am not going to take it. Honestly, I'm not going to. The players in that dressing room, if they know who they are, if they are winners, if they have character, if they have some self-esteem, they will feel bad.
Of course.
Accepting that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. If it comes, right?
In Champions League next season.
They're in the Champions League next season. But did you earn it? No. We gave it to you, probably. Yeah, Villa fans will say that. We
helped you out.
We helped you out.
Listen, there's been a lot of fake news on social media regarding you, John. I've seen a lot about
fake news.
The reason I bring it up is that it went viral this week about the players that apparently you had said you'd keep at Chelsea.
Oh, God.
You'd sell, and I knew it. I sent it to you straight away and went, we haven't spoken about this. Who have you been talking to, John? You haven't been talking to anyone.
No.
I want to look at the sales list on this. Again, to be clear, fake news. Mark Cucurella was on that list. I know you're a big fan of Cucurella.
Yeah,
so
but not last week, mate.
Well, no.
No. When he gave away the team sheet to his barber, who does that? I never gave away my team sheet to my own mother.
Allegedly.
To my own mother, I never did. That's something you never do.
Your own mum, John, what's the
To
team
my
of the
own
weekend?
mum.
I'm not telling you,
No,
Mum.
I'll probably say, Mom, I'm not playing. That's it. I don't run the whole from goalkeeper to the whole team to a barber, somebody that cuts your hair, somebody that you absolutely do not know. He cuts your hair. That's it. That's it. You run through the whole team news, team shit for him.
Yeah,
For him.
He might have not done
What
that.
kind of trust do you have
Well, what I said to
with
you,
that guy? What kind of trust? But then he comes back down again to responsibility, to lead us. There's so many things that, gosh, if I tell you guys, the amount of things that was going to come out, that was going to happen in that dressing room, back in the day in our dressing room, that the top players, that the senior players, the likes of JT, Frank Lampard, DJ Drogba,
we wouldn't have a
Peter Cech,
podcast.
that they shut down. They'd be like, what are you doing? They call you in straight away. What are you doing? Are you stupid? Take that down. What are you doing? What do you like? But now when I see those things happening, like,
Yeah,
where is the leadership? Where is the leadership?
I've got to say,
the
John,
leadership is so massively important, massively important. And we don't have, absolutely zero at that football club. Zero. Reece James, yes, captain. I have a huge respect for him. But leadership is absolutely zero. And that again comes from the top. The top is not run properly, and that trickles down. And when it trickles down, it becomes a shit show.
I said it to you on the WhatsApps. If, and it's all alleged, but if his barber has leaked the team, which we believe he did, it says a lot. And I know Cucurella,
It happened twice. It happened again before PSG.
The 2 games of PSG.
Yes.
So he's going to take responsibility for.
So there's so many leaks. There's so many people leaking stories.
It's not good.
Not good.
But
Not
it's
good for the football club. What other football club do you hear that happening right now? Where? Tell me. Which other football club do you hear that happening right now?
It used to be United.
It used to be United, but it's gone quiet.
Yeah.
They've dealt with it.
Yeah.
But at Chelsea Football Club, that never happened. Because there were leaders, there was characters, there were top managers that you can look at and you be like, oh, I don't want to mess with that manager.
Yeah, and if they found out that
And
you were
they found out and you're the one, you're gone. You are
Oh.
gone. You are absolutely gone. That is a no-no. To snitch on the players, on the squad, on the starting 11? No. I mean, I don't think anybody likes a snitch. I don't think anybody likes somebody who's going to go and start telling, giving away a starting 11 few hours before the game. Like, you giving you just signing our debt warrant before we step on the pitch.
Who would you have feared most, John? You never were, but if you were doing that and you went, oh, it's out. Roman's call, Jose's call, or JT's call. Who'd you fear the most?
Obviously, how that used to happens. If Roman hears it, Marina hears it. It goes, Marina, she hears it, calls the manager's like, oh my God, what's that? And then obviously,
JT.
if the manager doesn't want to deal with it, he goes to JT and then he calls you in.
Oh no.
And then you get the absolute bollocking, mate. You get it. You get it. He's right in your face. Those things don't happen. It never happened. We were always held responsible, accountability of every action we took, not just on the pitch, outside it, what we did. There's so many things we did off the pitch. We enjoyed ourselves, but
you were winning.
We were winning. But a lot of it nobody heard about because we were so close, we were so tight. The code was there. The code of not giving away anything was there. And we all respected it. There was a code. We all respected it.
And then you start
respect the football club, respect your teammate, respect where you are and where you belong. We all did. And that's something that I don't see right now. Nobody respects anything at that football club. it's a shit show. Everybody wants to leave. Players wants to leave. Managers coming and going. The owners are just there. Who's going to come in next? Who's absolutely going to come in next? I'm telling you this. We are going to get another absolutely yes man, because no top manager is going to accept coming in and getting his hands tight on what he can do and what he can't do.
Just on this fake news, John, I want to rattle through these players that you allegedly told someone, an entity, a publication that you'd sell. I know you're a fan of this fella. He's gone a bit quiet in this week. Pedro Neto, sell or keep?
We're not doing that.
You're keeping Pedro, right?
No. I listen. I don't want to. I hate when people lose their job. That's not me. I hate when people lose their job. All I can say to those players is to absolutely roll your sleeves up and absolutely give your all to the football club.
That's it.
Absolutely give your all to the football club. Like, if you want to stay, if you want to go, make it known. Go to the football club. Go to the manager's door. Knock on the door, as you should do, respectfully. Tell them that you're done. You've had enough. You want to move on. Fine. That's good. I've always said it.
Be transparent.
No player is bigger than the football club.
Yeah.
No player is bigger than the football club. We all finished. We've all gone. We've all finished our career at the football club. We've all left. What's happened to the football club? It's still existing. It's still going. So no player is bigger than a football club. If you're tired, you want to move on, you want to go play for Real Madrid, fine and good. If you want to go to Manchester United, fine and good. Just make it known respectfully.
And don't disrespect
the badge. Don't disrespect the badge. Don't disrespect the fans. Most importantly, don't disrespect the badge of the football club.
Yeah, I love that.
With BetWinner, every game is your chance to win. Trust your instinct. Place your bets. Feel the victory. Win with BetWinner.
Okay, right, that's Chelsea. So let's see what comes of the next few weeks. John doesn't want 6th place, Aston Villa. Don't you dare finish 5th.
No, but it's true.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
I just don't feel like we want to be that club where, we're going to be handed all the time. Because there's this sense of acceptancy right now. We're accepting so much. We're accepting losing. We're accepting, being so carried away with beating Leeds United. We're accepting who we are becoming, because we are just this team that's declining massively. The drop-off has been absolutely ridiculous. The drop-off of who we're becoming. And we need to change that pretty quickly, because once you get stuck in that, in that model of who you are, and you start accepting that, with this team that finished 10, 11, 12, no, that's not who we are. We want to compete again, winning trophies. Next season, how do we get better? How do we compete to winning the Champions League, the Premier League? Because once again, I keep saying it, if you start taking yourself out of the equation, you're going to say, it's next season. Oh, next season. No. It builds up.
Of course it does.
And then 5, 10 years, 15 years, we haven't won the Premier League.
Yeah, your standards are.
You start declining as a football club. We don't want to become that football club. We want to keep who we are, the culture. Keep winning, keep existing, keep that culture of winning. And because that's who we are.
I tell you, you can understand the size of Chelsea. And Chelsea are a big club. But you really sense how big they are. They've dominated the headlines this week, to the point where City's 1-0 win midweek against Burnley, City's 2-1 win in their semi-final against Southampton. Yeah. No one's really been talking about it. And even Arsenal's 1-0 win to move them 3 points clear again in the Premier League title race. Yeah. All of that has been a bit of a sideshow to the Chelsea story this past week, John. But City did get their win against Burnley. Arsenal did win against Newcastle. It's back to 3 points. The title race is still alive and kicking.
Oh, it's exciting, the title race. I mean, it's absolutely exciting. For the neutrals, we watching, everybody watching, it's absolutely exciting, because right now you can say, okay, this is probably going to be the most exciting Premier League finish
in a long time.
In a long time. Two teams battling, fighting for it. And I just think it might come down to goal difference. I think that probably might be what separates, both teams. City, of course, playing Burnley, coming off that win against Arsenal, again with such magnitude, a huge game against Arsenal at Etihad. What that must have taken away out of those players, in terms of, physically, what must have taken out all those players, the winning, what they put in, the energy that they put into that game.
Must win.
To be able to win that game. Yeah. It was a must-win game. They had to win it. They absolutely had to win it. I see some people saying, was the celebration a bit too much? Oh, hell no. Not too much. When you win such a game, It was a shoot-off game. It was a playoff game. No matter how you look at it, it was a final.
City had to win it. Yeah.
City have to win it to still be in the title race. They had to win it.
So
they absolutely had to win it, playing at home. And of course, the way Arsenal came out to approach the game was good to see. You know, it was the best they've played in a long, long time. And then we thought, okay, this is Arsenal. Now, this is going to be the blueprint of how they're going to play towards the end of the season. But what's happened? Again, Arsenal going back to who they are. Boring, flat, and nerves.
Yeah. But they got the win.
Absolutely boring, flat, and nerves. They got the win. They went up 1-0 up in the 9th minute. But that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But again, you can feel that there's so much nerves around the place. When you go to the Emirates to watch a game now, you know, the fans are so nervous. They're so tight because they absolutely don't know what to accept. They have absolute idea what's coming. Whether they're going to score or they're going to concede or what's going to happen. The fans, it is so tense around the place. And that rubs up the players. The players are so tense. The manager is tense. The fans are so tense. And when you see Manchester City win 1-0 against Burnley, and you have an opportunity playing against Newcastle, a fragile Newcastle, a vulnerable Newcastle, that you've gone 1-0 up at the 9th minute, very early. Again, I talk about it. Putting pressure on this Manchester City side. This is the title that might be separated by goal difference. This is the title that might be separated by goal difference. What did Arsenal do? Took their foot off the fucking gas. Again, Chris, put your foot on the fucking accelerator and press. Put the pressure on City. Go 1-2-0, 3-0 up. Because this might come down to goal difference. They absolutely failed again. They absolutely failed.
To do that,
They didn't create chances.
But they got the win.
They weren't excited. Yes, of course they got the win. It's 3 points ahead now.
And right now.
But looking at the title, we're all talking about it. Everybody's talking about it. It might come down to goal difference. They know that the Arsenal players, when you watch City against Burnley, they created what? Over 20-something chances?
Yeah,
they were at it. Yes, the ball did. Yes, they didn't score 2, 3, 4. But they could have easily done that. That is a winning team. That is the mentality. That is the difference when you talk about mentality-wise. On one hand, you have a team that absolutely knew that this might come down to goal difference. They were pressing. They were going forward. They were creating chances against Burnley. Despite making those changes, they were pressing. They created a lot of chances. They wanted to win by 2, 3, 4 goal margin, but it didn't go in. They finished the game 1-0. But this is the mentality. They wanted to score more goals because they can sense it, they can feel, they can smell that this might go down to goal difference. And on the other hand, you have a team that went 1-0 up, early stages, playing at home against Newcastle, vulnerable Newcastle, that haven't won in a long time, that are not playing well in a long time. Press, go, score 2, 3, 4 goals. Put the pressure on Manchester City. Put the pressure back on Manchester City. Yes, it's 3 points now. But with that goal difference would have been a lot more pressure on Manchester City. And they failed to do that again.
Atletico Madrid midweek, of course, he's maybe got one eye on that. Then they've got Fulham on Saturday, do Arsenal before City go to Everton on Monday night. So there is a chance by the time we're back here next week, John, Arsenal could be 6 points clear of the Premier League. Once again, it's going to be nip and tuck all the way. It's nip and tuck at the bottom as well. It's now between, I think, Nottingham Forest 5-0 winners over Sunderland. What a win on Friday night. West Ham getting the win against Everton late on. Spurs getting the win. Finally, a first win in 2026 for Spurs. 2 points the gap, 4 games to go.
Yeah,
it's between one of those.
Yeah, no. But again, coming back to Arsenal, I mean, it is huge when you talk about the Atletico game. I think that's a huge game for Arsenal. Huge game. You can ask the question. Again, it might come down to what do they want to win?
Or both.
They want to win both. Fine. Good. That's a good mentality to have.
I think, of course.
But if you ask every Arsenal fan, they say they want the Premier League.
Yeah, I agree.
So it will be interesting to see what does he do. The game against Atletico.
Yeah.
Is he going to rest the players?
No.
Is he going to place his main 11? Is he going to start his main 11? Or what is he going to do? Is he going to prioritize the Premier League
That's a great question.
So,
surely.
It will be interesting to see what he does. Because I looked at that game. The one player that I think that's been driving this Arsenal football club, this Arsenal team, this whole season, I watched him over the weekend. He looked like a tired man to me. Declan Rice. He looks tired. He looks absolutely shattered. The legs are not there. He's not doing what he usually do, carrying the ball, driving forward, running, doing, tackling. He looked absolutely tired to me. And for me, that's a worrying sign for Arsenal. Absolutely worrying sign.
And they cannot afford to, they're not going to drop him.
And they cannot afford to drop him. So, he has to play. He has to play both games.
And he'll play every game.
He'll play every game from now to the end of the season.
No doubt, if he's fit.
If he's fit, unless he gets injured. So, for me, they look a tired team. You have one team, on the other hand, grinding, absolutely grinding everything just to cross the finish line. Grinding, crawling to the finish line. And then you, on the other hand, you have the other team absolutely sprinting to the finish line. Momentum on their side, playing well, creating chances. Confidence on the side, playing with freedom, gets you off your seat, excitement, creativity. But again, can Arsenal get there first? Can they finish? Can they get to the finish line first? Of course they can. But I'm just telling you the bold difference. You have one team that is absolutely on their knees crawling to the finish line. And on the other hand, you have one team that is full of confidence, playing with freedom, playing with excitement. They're enjoying where they are. They're enjoying this battle.
Yeah, they are.
You can see that. You can feel that from both managers, from the players. Doku gets you off your seat. Shirky gets you off your seat. Haaland, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, when they play. You can see it clicking. Everything's falling into place.
So you're still...
On the other hand, you have a team that absolutely zero. Nothing is flat and boring. But they can still get to the finish line before City. They can still win it. They can still go absolutely all the way and win it. Now it depends. Do you want to give them credit for? How much credit do you want to give them for crawling to the finish line? Up to you. But for me, looking at both teams and watching both teams right now, I just think City are the ones, everything is going their way. Pep Guardiola looks like he's enjoying where he is. He's enjoying the challenge. And his team are playing well. Everything is falling into place, I said it, with those two at the back, Gay and Kushinov, they absolutely vital for City. And as well as Rodri. Now with the injury of Rodri, it's a huge, huge blow for Manchester City. I've said it last week, and I'm going to say it again. Whatever it is that Pep Guardiola needs to, they need to go and where the injury is, they need to go and inject whatever they can find.
Legally.
Amazing to act. Legally. They have to inject Rodri.
They've already got 115 charges, John. They don't need more for any.
They need to get him on the pitch. I kid you not. Watch the game against Burnley. You can see there was something missing. There was absolutely something missing.
Same against Southampton.
Except against Southampton.
He's massive.
He's huge for Manchester City. Absolutely crucial. I said it, when they started playing well was when Rodri found his form. When he found his form, his Rodri, being who he is before he got injured. He was getting there, and now he got injured. That was when City found their groove. They go back to their groove. And you can see that from these last two games, he didn't play. Pep Guardiola did not look to me like a happy man on that touchline. There's something absolutely missing, and that's absolutely Rodri. He's key to them. Yeah. He's huge for this title race, and it's going to be a massive, massive blow if he doesn't play the rest of the game. If he doesn't play the rest of these games remaining. If City are going to win the title, Rodri has to be on the pitch. Has to be on the pitch. I've said it so many times. People say, oh, one person cannot make it through.
No, he is.
He is huge. There's this connection between him and Manchester City, the way they play. Everything. You might not see, he's not flashy, you might not see everything, but everything goes through this fella. Everything goes through him. You cannot deny that.
And Pep
so it's huge for them.
He might be back for Everton. That's the $1 million one. Listen, conscious of time, I want to ask as well, moving the conversation on to some sad news over the weekend, John. I've got to go there. Of course, you, former captain of Nigeria. The news of Mikel and
Yeah.
40 years of age.
Sad, really sad.
Playing a bounce game.
Yeah.
And passing away. I mean,
really sad, really sad. This is not the first time it's happened. There's another guy that lost his life again, ex-football player that I played with on the 17, on the 20, Isaac Promise, who also passed away. Same heart. I think it was a few years ago. Not good news that this keeps happening. Sad news. I don't know much about the Mikel. I think he came to the national team maybe a couple of times. I played with him. I met him a couple of times when he came to the camp. But I don't know much about him. But great guy when he came to the camp. Great guy. Good striker, good player. But yeah, really sad news. You know, when you lose, doesn't matter who it is, but when you lose
at 40 years of age,
somebody age of that young, at age of 40, it's just sad news for Nigerian football, African football, and just the football world. Just sad news.
Yeah.
To his families, my prayers and thoughts are with them. Honestly,
absolutely.
It's just sad.
Yeah, Mikel and who passed away at the age of 40. Taking Mikel, we'll be back next week, John. Of course it will. I've got a feeling there's so many stories now. There are so many storylines, many of which we haven't even touched. But Chelsea, very much the gift that kept.
Yeah. But then, just a quick one on Liam Rosenior. It's a shame to see what's happened to the guy. I said it. He was not the problem. This problem is been going on.
It's bigger than him.
It's bigger than him. This is not Liam Rosenior's problem. He didn't create this problem. When you get offered a job like this, of course you're gonna take it. No one is gonna turn it down. No young manager, no young coach is gonna turn it down. They all want to come to Chelsea Football Club and coach.
You back yourself.
Of course you back yourself. What is there to risk? The only thing you're going to do is, if you fail, say, oh yeah, anyways, we knew it was going to happen because you didn't have the experience. If you succeed, oh, wow, you succeeded. But everybody's going to take the job and take nothing away from the guy. I'm sure he's going to go on and manage again. He's going to find a good club. He's going to get another job. He's going to continue coaching. He's going to continue doing what he does. But
he'll learn as well.
He was not the problem. Did he lose some of the play? Did he lose some of the players? Maybe. Did he lose the dressing room? Maybe. Did he come out and try to defend himself the last game? Of course, you have to, at some point, when you keep defending the players, and they keep, rubbing it in your face, you at some point have to come out and try to defend yourself. And I thought after the game against Brighton, that's what he tried to do. It's not my fault, actually. Some of those players need to look at themselves in the mirror and reflect on how they performed. And I just thought that's the normal thing to do if you week in, week out have been defending these players. So he's not actually the problem, but he just didn't have the credential to come and coach Chelsea. Not quite yet. He didn't have the experience to coach the football club right now. And that's what I said. And again, being authentic and being who he is something that he needs to, if that's who he is, carry on being who you are. And express yourself the way you want to express yourself. But for Chelsea Football Club, I just think it was just way too bigger for him. It was not the right time. And we have to reset the club. Have to reset. Take a pause. Look at ourselves as a football club. The owners, like they said, they're going to make a self-reflection of themselves. They have to. Because at some point, when you keep doing things wrong and keep getting it wrong, time after time, you have to stop. Reflect on your decisions. Reflect on what you're doing and see if it works. If it doesn't work, you have to change it. They have to change the model, how they run the football club. I'm not saying Paul Stanley should lose their job, sporting directors, that's left for them. But change the model, bring in top players. They can help this young squad. They can galvanize. They can pull them along to the finish line. They can get them to becoming who we are, which is competing of winning the Premier League and the Champions League.
Hopefully they're watching or listening to this, John, and maybe, just maybe, that dollar has dropped. That is it for Taking the Mikel. Of course, we'll be back. Chelsea in action this coming weekend. Doesn't get any easier for anyone, in actual fact. It's going to be a cracking end to the season. Chelsea home to Nottingham Forest, I believe it is, this weekend. Taking the Mikel. Do tell your friends about us. Subscribe.
If I ask you, who do you think is going to win the Premier League?
I said at the start of the season, John, so I've got to stick with them. Arsenal.
Ooh.
I'm sticking with Arsenal because I think City might drop points.
You think Arsenal are going to drop points?
No, I don't. They'll beat Fulham. And then they've got final 2 games away at Palace,
West Ham,
home at Burnley, away to West Ham, maybe. But I'm going to stick with Arsenal. We've got a steak dinner on it. Right, Taking the Mikel. I take it you're going City, correct? Of course you're going City. You're never saying Arsenal. Never in a month of Tuesdays. Right, Taking the Mikel. Back next time. Ta-ra for now.